Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back. It is exactly 9:58. News and views on Salam Media. And we are wrapping up this morning with women in media in keeping with Women's Month. We here at Salam Media are recognizing women that have made strides in the world of media. Our next person that we're going to be talking to this morning in this series is news producer at ETV, and that is Tasneem Adams. Assalamu alaikum to you. Welcome to the program.
Walaikum salam, Julie, and assalamu alaikum to your viewers. I'm so sorry about the technical issues.
Please don't worry about it. It's fine. We've got this. Tasneem, I must say that when my COO suggested that we do this series in honoring women, um, in keeping with Women's Month, I kind of thought to myself, goodness me, where are we going to find that many women,
Mm,
to cover, and interesting women and possibly women we've not spoken with in the past? And I am truly amazed and heartened by the fact that we have so very Muslimas in the
mm,
media space, you being
mm,
one of them.
mm.
Welcome to my program. Tell us, how did your journey start in media?
Julie, I wish I had some amazing story to tell you, like a movie-like story, but I actually don't.
Okay.
As a child, as a youngster, I was always a very creative kid. In primary school, I wanted to be a fashion designer. And
Okay.
then I had a fascination with listening to the radio, particularly music. And then in my teens, I wanted to be a radio DJ. And then I wanted to be a TV news anchor because I was fascinated with television news. And then it became a magazine writer. So I wanted to do a lot of things in media. I just didn't know what I actually really wanted to do after school. So I decided to study media studies so I could sort of merge all of these interests into one and not specifically do journalism because I wasn't sure if I really wanted to be a journalism per se. Then I studied media studies, got my degree, then I landed in an office job, just totally by accident because I needed money. And one day a friend of mine, actually a relative, told me that there was a advertisement that she heard on the radio for journalists at Voice of the Cape Radio. And I'm like, I don't really want to be a radio journalist. It's not something I ever thought of. And then I just decided to do it anyway because I felt I needed I needed to actually now start doing journalism and learning the industry, at least doing something within media. And I thought, okay, give or take 1 or 2 years at VOC. That ended up being 14 years. So I
Oh,
ended up staying at VOC for 14 years, having started off as this rookie journalism and then a journalist and then becoming, the news editor, where in that role, I was in that role for 10 years, eventually leaving
Alhamdulillah.
and taking up a role in television news 2 years ago.
Okay, so how did this then pan out? News producer at ETV. Is that still based in Cape Town, or are you in Johannesburg?
No, I'm based at the Cape Town office. I decided to leave radio because I felt that I was stagnating. I didn't feel that I had the same passion for radio as I had at the beginning or the early years, and that I sort of lost my creative spark in the process because I'd been in a management position for 10 years. I wasn't necessarily doing what I love, which was like storytelling and, doing the actual grafting, doing the actual work. So I felt that also because I'd been in this medium for 10 years, I wanted to do something new. And it was a leap of faith. I decided to apply for the job at Open News, and getting eventually into finally getting my break in TV news as I'd always wanted to do, not in front of the camera but at least behind the scenes. And I think it's been phenomenal because TV is such a creative space, and it's allowed me to find that, harness that creativity, find that creative spark that I feel that I'd lost along the way. It's an incredibly visual medium.
Yes.
The storytelling element in TV news is so brilliant and it's so technically detailed. It's such a craft, which I've had to really retrain my brain to think, visually, which I hadn't really done much in radio. So it's been a phenomenal journey of having to, learn new skills and actually, tell stories in a different way. And I'm totally loving it. I love the team aspect of it, the fact that we have to work like a close knit unit. It's a well-oiled machine. We work cohesively, and I've got newfound appreciation for how TV works and what it takes to compile a 30-minute on-air bulletin and the amount of work that goes on behind the scenes. I've got, phenomenal insight into that now.
And deep respect for all of the producers behind the scenes
Yeah,
as well, because
absolutely.
it is a lot of hard work involved.
It is.
As you said, just a half an hour or a 15-minute
Yep.
news bulletin, just how much of work and creativity goes into that. So well done, girl. Where to from here for you, Tasneem Adams?
Well, I think I definitely want to stay in TV news for a little while. I've been between two jobs I've been between two contracts within media. So, I'm still trying to carve my niche. I'd like to do a little bit more things in front of the camera, and at the same time dabble a little bit more in social media content creation, which I accidentally sort of landed in last year while trying to, earn an extra income. So I'm trying to, just carve my niche out there and learn more skills in social media because, the industry's there now, and social media content creation has become such a phenomenal space for creatives. So that is definitely where I see myself going in the next year, but definitely still staying in TV broadcasting at the same time.
Your advice to young people listening and watching us this morning, wanting to make this media space their future. And we do know that media is evolving at such a huge rate. You speak
Hmm,
about social media, and I sometimes wonder, is social media not going to completely overtake your job and my job as well in perhaps 5 years' time, if not sooner? Um,
absolutely.
and you're right, that is such a rapidly growing industry. So, what would your advice be? And do you believe that they'd still have to go the conventional route, trying to get a diploma and a degree? In getting to the space, knowing that a lot of influences and a lot of content that is being created for social media is done by people who are new to it. They've had no formal training in the area, and yet they've
Hmm.
made a name for themselves, so to speak.
I think it really depends on where, in what avenue of media you want to be in. If it's particularly journalism, I would say that the conventional route is still important because, you need to understand what are the foundational aspects of journalism. The theory, the ethics, all of that is vital, and you need to have that knowledge once you enter a newsroom. But if it's, simply storytelling and wanting to be a broadcaster or wanting to be a visual storyteller, that's not necessarily you don't need to follow that route because the online space, the digital world has created so many opportunities for people to carve their own paths and create their own platforms. It's just about how you use that opportunity, create that space, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Instagram, or using TikTok to visually tell stories, or be a sort of citizen journalist. You can follow that route. You don't necessarily need to get a degree. So I suppose it's where you see yourself, whether it is, being a storyteller or necessarily working as a journalist. You need to sort of find your own path.
What does Women's Day and Women's Month mean for you, Tasneem Adams?
I think it is obviously it's a celebration of where we've come as women, but also where we still need to where we're going to, where we need to focus on. Obviously we as women are challenged in so many ways, being in a country where we have high levels of gender-based violence, and women are still challenged in all fronts in terms of the corporate world. So I think it's a celebration definitely of the achievements that we've made, but still we still have a lot to do to improve the lives of women who are conflicted and faced with so many challenges as mothers, as sisters, as breadwinners. Yeah.
Well, thank you indeed for talking with us. You're a great role model. I wish you a happy Women's Day and month. Lovely talking with you, and you go
Thank
well,
you so much.
inshallah.
Shukran so much, Julie. I appreciate it.
That was Tasneem Adams. She is a news producer at ETV. And of course, we featured her in our Women in Media slot, which we be running, of course, for the rest of this month. And isn't it just amazing to come across that many Muslim women in media? It just truly um, it really truly makes me feel so proud of being a Muslim woman and knowing that our sisters are making headway in the media world and in so many other fields as well, but particularly in the world of media. That then brings us to the end of the show this morning. I do hope you've enjoyed being with me as much as I've appreciated your time. It is 8 after 10 o'clock exactly till tomorrow morning at the same time as always. Take care on the roads. Assalamu alaikum and Khudafiz from me, Julie Ali.